It's the Kingdom Perspective, and welcome to my channel. Here I give my commentary on popular shows from a Christian perspective, and today is our first video of the new season 10 of 90 Day Fiancé. That's right, season 10. This show has been going on for 10 years. Wow. Let's meet the couples. If you're new to the show, here is a quick recap. We have a couple, one is from the USA and one is from abroad. You also have the K1 visa. So the people from abroad move to the USA on said visa and have 90 days to get married, or it's back to their country. Today's video is going to be on Sophie and Robert. Sophie is 23. She lives in the UK and she is a content creator. And Robert is 32. He lives in LA, and there's a couple of things he does, like a few odd jobs like modeling, dancing, but we'll get into that more later. Sophie is 23, which I think is so young to get into a commitment of a marriage. When I think about marriage, the design that God made for marriage, I'm just thinking this is a huge commitment for someone that young to make. But she seems like she really wants to make this with Robert, which is a nice thing, I guess. But it's just like, are you aware of how difficult and how much work this is? Like, it's not all sunshines and rainbows, but yeah. She goes on to explain that she's been clubbing since she was 12 and she's always had a privileged upbringing. Her grandparent worked really hard. He had a lot of money, and so did she. She grew up with a lot of it. I do feel so bad for her because she does explain that she was bullied a lot when she was younger because she is mixed race, and maybe where she grew up, there just wasn't a lot of children that look like her. And so that really breaks my heart. Let's go back to Rob. So Rob is concerned about his studio apartment. He feels it's not up to Sophie's standards. Remember, Sophie comes from money. She comes from a privileged upbringing. And he even goes on to say that she's never paid rent, but she's always lived in really nice places. Now, it kind of sounds like to me, there's a little underlying jealousy there or something. Maybe he's not quite happy with his apartment. And so, I can kind of hear some stuff going on there that doesn't sound very nice to me. But the truth is, the man is the provider. She is coming to America to live with you. You have to be in a position to provide for her. If you're not, then why are you dating? Why are you allowing someone to move to another country to live with you? If you think that your place is not suitable for another person, why is she coming? Like this example here, the bathroom is actually outside or across a courtyard space. So yeah, that's kind of concerning to me because a man is supposed to provide, protect, and he has put you in a position where you have to, maybe in the middle of the night, if you need to go to the bathroom, you have to go outside or go across a courtyard. Is that safe? So back to Sophie. She is getting excited. She's packing. She's concerned because she knows how small his studio place is, and she's like, can I even take all my stuff? Can I take all my clothes? Remember, she is a content creator, like a fashion content creator, so I could imagine that she has a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes, etc., things like that, which I actually think that maybe there's some stuff there that she may not need, but she has rights to have concerns, especially because it is a very small space and probably it's small to her compared to what she's had before. So we have to always remember that. So Sophie gets on the phone to her mum, and we learn that she's very close to her mother. Sophie has moved and lived in quite a lot of different countries, and every single time her mum has moved and gone with her. So I believe that relationship is really sweet, but I just wonder if Sophie has had this conversation with her mum about their relationship, because I do believe that when you get married, your relationship with your core family or the family that you came from has to change. I mean, it talks about this in the Bible. It says that a man has to leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. That can only really happen if your relationship with your parents, your core family has to change. It has to be like that. So I wonder if she's had this conversation. And also we learn that the mother doesn't even like Robert, and I'm not sure why. It sounds like the mother has concerns that Robert cannot give a life to Sophie as what she thinks she deserves. I mean, mothers are always going to think that their children deserve the best, and I believe that they do. But best is very, very subjective to everybody. Sophie's mother again comes from money, and so she's going to be thinking that the best is financial best, or there's going to be lots of different definitions for that, but one of them is definitely going to be finance. So we're going to see how this plays out. So we're back with Rob, and he is in a dance studio with one of his friends, and he's trying to come up with a dance routine because he is going to pop the question, or at least present an engagement ring at the airport when Sophie arrives, which I cannot wait to see that, by the way. But we are talking to the friend about Sophie, and he has his own concerns. So the last time that he met Sophie was when she came to LA to spend 2 months with Rob, and the friend is concerned because he thinks that Sophie might be, I don't know, maybe coming to the USA for some kind of gain. But I mean, she comes from a wealthy family, so what gain could she be coming for? I'm not sure. And then also he says that the last time that she was in LA, she was on Bumble, or he found her on Bumble, or something to that effect. And she said that, or Sophie said that she was on there trying to find new friends in LA. I don't know about that. I I really am not sure about that, because for me, Bumble is a dating site. Now let's get something clear. That could actually be completely true. My only issue with those kinds of things is that you are opening the door. You're opening the door to certain temptations. You are opening the door to certain things. And I always believe that do not let the enemy come in and destroy your relationships or your marriages or etc. Do not open that door. Like, even if you are going on Bumble for something super innocent, like trying to find new friends, it is a dating site. And there will be men who see you on there and probably will say, yeah, let's be friends. And of course they may want more than that. So it's just, don't allow little things like that to come into your relationships, because they could end up destroying them. And Robert is not completely innocent in all of this, because Sophie tells us that during COVID and a difficult time in their relationship, Robert was talking to another woman online. Oh, okay. So that adds like another spanner in the works. It just adds more stuff for them to have to kind of sort through and work through. Now, long distance relationships are hard. They are really, really difficult. And obviously COVID made things even more difficult because they couldn't see each other. They couldn't fly out and see each other at all. But to me, that is not really an excuse to go and start talking to the opposite sex. Like, I'm just not sure why you would do that. Like, if you really are like committed to somebody, then why are you speaking to somebody else? And it's just really deceitful, and it's just a kind of behavior and kind of a character that isn't really good for both of them. Because I don't know what Sophie was doing on Bumble, but I don't know what Robert was doing talking to another woman. But apparently, Sophie has forgiven him for all of that, and they have decided to move on with their relationship. I just think that sometimes with some of these couples, are they really ready for marriage? Like the real thing, the real deal. It's not easy. And so when I hear things like this, I'm just like, are you guys really ready? Are you though? So we cut to Sophie. She's gone out with one of her friends and they're having a good conversation. Now, this friend knows about Robert speaking to another woman at that difficult time in their relationship. And so this friend is not exactly super happy with Sophie moving over to the USA to be with Robert, but that's just her opinion. But anyway, if we keep on going, Sophie has a bombshell to drop that she has never actually told anyone, including this friend. But it turns out that Sophie is bisexual. So it looks like she likes men, but she also likes women. And whoa, that is a big bomb to drop, especially if it's the first time that you've ever done something like that. But that surprised me definitely, and it definitely shocked her friend because it was a lot of information to take in, clearly. But she has not told Robert this, and this is not a good thing. Definitely not. Lying, deceitfulness, lying by omission. It's just, all of it is just not good practice, and it's not good character. You're trying to marry somebody. This is someone you're going to marry. You don't want to be keeping certain things like that away from them. And also for some people, and for a lot of people, that kind of orientation may be something that they're not comfortable with, or maybe they need to process, or whatever the case may be. But when you keep that from someone that you love, someone you're going to marry, it's a huge piece of information. And I just wonder how Robert is going to deal with that. So that's it from Sophie and Robert on episode 1 of season 10's 90-day Fiancé. If you want to know more about the other couples for this season, then don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you know when my next video will be out. And I'll see you in my next one.